So I made a video about Return to Dream Land Deluxe yesterday, and it was kooky. If you want to watch it, you can. I would appreciate it. That was definitely a much more positive video than the one we're going to be talking about today. If you want to be nice, you can give both of these videos a like and ring that notification bell after subscribing to, please, feed into my Kirby addiction. I talked about some of the new things that caught my interest in that video, but I skimmed over something big. For those of you who need a refresher, watch the video please and feed my addiction. Online play has been confirmed to not be a thing for this game, except for comparing high scores and the snifty looking Samurai Kirby 100. I've always wanted a Kirby Battle Royale. Return to Dream Land Deluxe not getting online play has been controversial, to say the very least. Some aren't bothered by it, others are furious about the call, and others still have the craziest take of them all. Landing somewhere in between. Gasp! So here's the thing. I know the title of this video is something along the lines of Kirby is unalive. Switch Online did the deed. Here's why. Arrow pointing at Mr. Beast. But I still think the game is going to sell. Kirby fans will buy it. People who missed out on the original will buy it. People who are nostalgic for it will buy it. Heck, I'll buy it. And that's fine. The original Return to Dreamland is fantastic. And it's my second favorite game ever. It's pretty high praise. But a multiplayer game releasing in 2023 without any form of online for $60 is an embarrassment. Even back in 2011, the original not having it wasn't really the best call, but a huge difference is that was a Wii game. The Wii, as much as I love the thing, was notorious for having some of the worst online ever. Switch Online isn't good, and considering you have to pay for it, it's enough to make me want to hurl this thing across my backyard. Except it's so expensive. But it functions. By default, that makes it better than the online for most Wii games. But I'm not here to pick on the Wii today. I'm here to explain why this game not having something most other multiplayer games wouldn't even give a second thought about including is pathetic. I mean, I say all that, but I don't know, it's just pretty easy to understand. The year is current year. We have technology. Duh. It didn't work. Online is so important for multiplayer games because, I mean, they're multiplayer games. Games to be played with multiple people. Sure, playing with friends offline will always be amazing, but the overwhelming majority of people aren't going to get that opportunity. At the very least, they're not going to get it very much. There are so many reasons why this could be the case, but we'll stick with the basics. For now, let's go with time, distance, and convenience. People are very busy, and for something offline only, you may just not have the time to meet up and play. And who can forget, with the internet being a thing, better or for worse, people who live in different countries can grow very close. But you can't just meet up with them on a whim. Oh yeah, one plane ticket for a country 6 time zones away, see you for lunch. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna meet up for Kirby instead. And you know what else? Sometimes you're just tired and you'd rather play in the comfort of your own room over voice chat instead of going to somebody's house or something. It's convenient. Again, this is just scratching the surface, but my point stands. It's 2023, that's the current year, yes, and most indie games have online for their multiplayer games, and yet here's another $60 release that doesn't have it. Kirby in particular is really bad about this. The spin-offs do fine in this regard, bizarrely, but between Star Allies, Forgotten Land, and now Return Deluxe, 0 of them have a basic feature most games are expected to have. In the eyes of many, one of the only things that makes Star Allies even fun is the multiplayer. And while Return isn't that extreme, so many people have wonderful memories of playing the multiplayer and would love to share those experiences online with others. I know I do! And I may as well tackle this one, but Forgotten Land is definitely the least egregious of these three. Even I'll admit, I don't really think that it needed online, but don't think for a second that people weren't sad when it was confirmed to be offline only. Even if it was only so that more people could play as Bandanity. You know, maybe it did need online. The huge stinker with Return Deluxe, though, was the inclusion of Magalore Land, or Magalore World, Mago World, whatever. A brand new part of the game with 10 multiplayer minigames, some new and most returning. This is exactly the kind of thing that online would thrive for. If only this had online and the main game just kind of didn't, I'd be disappointed still, but at the very least, it would be a blast to play these with friends, and I'd be okay with it. 4-player Return to Dreamland is a chaotic mess, and I absolutely adore it, but unlike Star Allies, it's still an absolute blast single player. But the minigames, they're an alright distraction by yourself, but with other people, I can't really speak for all of these games technically, but if nothing else, I think Bomb Rally and definitely Checkerboard Chase are top-tier multiplayer experiences. We'll throw Kirby on the draw in there too. Superstar Ultra bias, you guys know how it is at this point. Not putting online in a multiplayer game just doesn't cut it anymore, especially when you're remaking a game and charging more for it compared to the original release. Remember, Wii games sold for $50, and you're being charged $60 for a remake with so much emphasis on multiplayer that a huge chunk of your player base won't be able to fully enjoy. The new content simply doesn't justify the extra cost. And the hilarious thing is, prepare your giggles, it totally would if online was a thing. Samurai Kirby is one of my least favorite minigames in the series, but I know I'm gonna spend an absolute ton of time on it because, hey, it's got the basic feature all of the minigames on here, bare minimum, should have. Why don't we still not have Checkerboard Chase online at a reasonable cost, you cowards? Now, time to start losing more people, as if this video wasn't already controversial enough. We're looking at this $60 game not having online. Fine, cool, whatever. Besides, the original game didn't have online either, right? I even said it before. I'll pull up the darnding evidence. So clearly, that makes this okay. The updated visuals, 2 new abilities, and near single-player locked minigames are enough to justify spending $60 on an 11-year-old game, fine. But what's that sound? I hear something. No, it can't be. Mostly since I highly doubt that most of us are listening to anywhere near a body of water. That's Dolphin! I highly doubt I'm going to change anybody's mind here, but please at least hear me out. Dolphin, a fantastic GameCube and Wii emulator, can run Return to Dreamland perfectly. You can use a Wii remote if you want, but you can pick a different controller, a perk for accessibility. You can upscale the game if your computer can handle it, but if it can't, totally fine, base settings work too. It's super nice, but I will admit that when I play the original Return to Dreamland, I still mostly do it on the Wii U. You can thank speedrunning for that. But what Dolphin offers for free that neither version of this game does is full online net play. You can do 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, 5-player. Okay, maybe not 5-player, but you can still play the entire game online. And the kicker? This includes the minigames. So tell me, why is it fair to pay $60 for a game that offers nothing substantially new, and most of the new it does offer is made substantially worse by not having a basic feature that almost every multiplayer game has, again, including indie games here? At that point, why buy this when the original is still honestly fantastic? This isn't like Nightmare in Dreamland or Superstar Ultra, where their originals were also amazing games, but felt completely different in their remakes. Return Deluxe looks, sounds, feels, and plays almost exactly the same. This new art style is nifty, but this still looks like Return to Dreamland. If you look at Adventure and Nightmare or Superstar and Ultra, they don't even look like the same game, not even close. Online was the easiest thing that they could have added to make this worth the money. I understand that it's a quick little project to keep the fans happy while we salivate for the next game. Okay, maybe that's just me. And that the devs are legitimately working hard on this. I'm not trying to insult anybody here, and everything I hear about HAL Labs kind of makes me like them more and more. Still, this isn't right. We're paying $60 for a game that may not even be worth the $50 that the original definitely was, along with an online service that costs $20, assuming you're paying for it solo, since, let's be real, people are becoming smarter and realizing how awful NSO is and bailing on even the family plan. And all we get is Samurai Kirby 100, which I've already gotten tired of looking and thinking about since the start of the video. I'm not asking for much. I'm not even asking for the main game, as basic of an addition as that is. I can accept the argument of it's single-player focused, multiplayer is just a silly little addition. I don't like that argument, and I super disagree with it, but I can at least understand and honestly accept it. Why don't the multiplayer-focused minigames not have something that, again, indie games put in all of their games almost? It's just... Ugh, it's so frustrating, even more so because, yes, the game's gonna be super fun. The mini-games are gonna be a great time. With a small amount of friends, you'll be able to play them with. The main mode, I already know is stellar. I really dig the new art style. Mecha and Sand, they look like fun abilities. There could still be new content that we don't know about yet. Return to Dreamland is fantastic in every sense of the word, and that makes this remake even more aggravating. And the worst part of all of this? Sand Kirby has whip properties now, so less people are gonna want to shout, "Yeehaw!"